So Adam, you asked to meet with Anita and I, so what's going on?
Yes, Steve, Anita, the Jones case that we've been handling out in federal court in Madison County, I think I've got an idea for how we can get that case mediated and resolved.
Jones case, that's that one, that's a pretty big case.
That's huge.
Huge case. You remember this, Steve. We hired all those new attorneys. We had to lease out some additional space to accommodate those attorneys. We had support staff. We had to get some new software to accommodate
Right,
those cases.
that's the one.
That's the
Okay,
one.
all right, but, okay, go ahead.
I've been looking at this case. You know, I've lived with it for over a year now. Looked at all the documents, considered all the witnesses. We've got a good relationship with the plaintiff's lawyers in this case. I've mediated cases with them before and come to a reasonable agreement, actually an agreement that I thought was very good for our side. And I know the mediator in this case, Jim Morris.
How, we were talking, what, like, we're projecting like 3 years out before this thing would get to trial?
Right.
And you're 1 year into it?
Just a little over a year.
Okay, all right. And you want to do an early mediation?
Right, you know how these things go. When it came in, we looked at it and we considered it and we looked at it as being a 3-year case to get it to trial and get it handled. But now, I think we've got some really good arguments. I think they've got some reasonable arguments as well. And I think we can come to an agreement in the middle at mediation.
Where's your client at on this?
Well, I talked to her, the general counsel,
All right.
and her position is she wants to fight it. She doesn't think that they have, you know, any claims that are good claims at all. She thinks they're baseless, and she thinks we can completely just win the case outright.
Oh, now let me understand this now. You've got a client who wants to fight. You brought in this matter. You had the firm add staff, add space. We've budgeted in anticipation of some pretty significant fees over a period of time. And you want to take it to an early mediation?
I do.
Why?
Well, you know, Steve, when you brought me into the firm, you told me you were looking for trial lawyers, but you were also looking for counselors. And this is a case where I think we really need to counsel the client. Let her know what the documents show. Let her know what we expect the witnesses to say. Tell her about our relationship with the plaintiff's counsel. Tell her about this mediator. And let her know that we really think this is the kind of case that we could mediate and get a good result.
You got a client who has said, I want you to litigate this case. You're geared up to litigate this case. It may well be, if you aggressively litigate this case, you may get an even better result than what you might get through this mediation.
I agree with Steve, Adam. I can't even believe you're bringing this to our attention. It makes me sort of question your judgment.
Well, Steve, Anita, I respect that, and I respect those views. But there's a lot of risk if we continue to fight this case. There's no risk if we mediate the case, get it resolved, it's gone.
You really need to get your head on straight, pal. This is, you really need to think this through before you go talk to that client again.